Hello and welcome to a really short bonus episode on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It's just me, Lib, talking to you right now because actually this clip is from episode 45 on the World's End. And we kind of talked about Ant-Man and the Wasp for an extended period of time, and I figured, you know what? I really like the points that me and Pat made in this clip, so I decided to remove it from that episode and turn it into a little bonus episode for you guys. Here's a little like 13-minute episode, just a little bonus. This was from episode 45, so I'm gonna ad lib an outro at the end of it, just like what I'm doing right here, because we didn't want to make an episode on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania because we both didn't enjoy it, but we still had things to say. So I decided to make it into this little bonus episode, which was too long to be a clip, too short to be its own episode, and in a way too short to be a bonus episode. But hey, we missed a lot of uploads, so here you go. We're giving this to you guys. So yeah, here we go. Enjoy. So let's talk about a movie we watched 2 days ago. So this is not part of the episode. This is gonna be very brief, but we went to the movie theater to watch the latest MCU movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yeah.
And it's really bad.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think if you laugh at it, it's fun. But I don't think you're supposed to laugh at it, so I'm just kind of giving it points, just to give it points at this point, right?
I give it 1.5 stars.
I give it two. I think.
I don't. This is the longest review I've ever written on Letterboxd. And I'm not gonna recite it. So if you want to see my exact feelings for the movie, go on my Letterboxd account and look at my review for it. But the TLDR is, it's not funny. The CG looks good, but it's good like technically, but it doesn't look good.
Yeah, I don't know how it can look good and like shit at the same time, but here we are.
Yeah, it happened. Whoever played Cassie just can't fucking act. She can't act. Yeah, no, she's terrible. Like she's so like one note monotone, no emotion the entire movie. I don't know if she did it on purpose because she is in Lady Bird. I didn't watch Lady Bird, but it's
Really
like
good.
a really
She's
really
really
good movie.
Yeah, she's really good in Lady Bird. So like I don't get it.
I don't get what happened here. She's also not good in Detective Pikachu. So I don't know, maybe Lady Bird was a fluke is what I'm saying.
Maybe.
Maybe. It's not as bad as like Thor: The Dark World or Eternals or Captain Marvel. It's not as bad as those movies, but
I definitely think that people are blowing it its head out of proportion.
yeah, like definitely like Thor: The Dark World and Eternals, Captain Marvel, and like Black Widow are all worse movies than this.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that Marvel put all of their faith and all of their hope and everything that they're setting up in this one movie. They disregard the reason why the Infinity Saga was so like good for everybody like watching it. They were building up the main villain since the first phase, since the end of phase 1, since the first Avengers movie. They've been building up all of this like since even since the first Captain America movie. That's when we see the Space Stone, and like right away we're like, as soon as fans of the comics saw the Space Stone, they're like, oh, they're doing Thanos, but it's gonna be in like a billion years. And it took them how long was the Infinity Saga? 10 years?
10 probably.
Like 10, yeah, 10 years. It was like a 10-year thing. No, it wasn't 10 years because
2008.
Ant-Man, not Ant-Man. Iron Man was
2008, and then like
2008.
2019 is when like Infinity War came
Oh,
out.
I thought Infinity War was 2020. Okay, yeah, 10 years. So 11 years. That's a good time to like get everything set up, get all of the cameos in, get all of the setup done before Infinity War, and even after Infinity War, there was still 2 or 3 more movies to set up Endgame, because for some reason Ant-Man was very important in the story of Endgame. So they needed to make another Ant-Man movie.
I don't think the problem is Kang is bad, or it's a bad introduction to him. I think he's good here. I like Kang a lot. And I think him being introduced through the quantum realm, it works. It does work. My problem with him is his first introduction is as the main villain of an Ant-Man movie, and he loses. Or loses in quotation marks, I guess. But I really think they should have. I know, like, some people would argue that, like, well, we did it for Thanos. We're not going to redo the same thing again. But I really think they should have maybe introduced Kang, because we had him with Loki. He's in Loki, and you get a taste of him in Loki. And I get it from, like, a marketing standpoint, from Marvel's perspective. You can't expect every person who's walking into a movie theater to have seen Loki or to have finished Loki. I get it. But I think they should have done it through, like, maybe 2 or 3 after credit scenes where we're like slow drip fed Kang. We see what he's doing in the background. Like, I think the after credit scene for this movie is really good at setting up Kang, better than, like, setting up Kang as the big overarching enemy than the movie did, and it's kind of weird. Like, I know, like, the way the movie ends is a little bit, it's in not a little bit, it is like Ant-Man didn't win. He delayed the inevitable. But it's just weird that Ant-Man is the first introduction to Kang where he has a major role. And I don't know if I agree with that decision.
Yeah, another villain they brought in for this movie was MODOK.
Who's the best? We're on Discord right now for the recording, and he's my profile picture. I love him. he's the best.
I hate every single moment of my life ever since I first saw MODOK on the big screen.
MODOK is the best character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Look, like, I don't. Pat's shit posting. He's gonna say he's not, but he is.
I'm not.
He is. See, MODOK in this movie. I like MODOK in general. Like, I like MODOK. He's very intimidating in the Avengers game, which is weird because that game is not seen to be very good. I like the Avengers game story a lot, and he's good in that game. And MODOK is supposed to look stupid, but not this stupid. He doesn't even have hair. Like, he looks like they just, like, it's I'm pretty sure it's all CG. At one point I was like, maybe they put a face rig on the guy who played Yellow Jacket. I forgot his name. And like, he just stood, like, sitting on a chair and just talked, and, like, they face rigged his face and his mouth moving, but I don't think that's what they did. It's gotta be full CG, and it looks terrible. It's the worst example of CG in the MCU. It looks so bad. It looks worse than the Killmonger fight in Black Panther. It looks worse than the floating head in Thor 4 and in Thor Love and Thunder. It's the worst looking thing I've ever seen on the big screen. And they show his ass too.
I like him. I think he's a silly little guy.
And he's not even intimidating. He's not intimidating at all. At the end, he's quote-unquote redeemed. With this whole, like, speech about not being a dick, which is really stupid. It's not funny. Nothing in this movie is funny. I laughed when I saw MODOK on screen. Every time he was on screen, I laughed my ass off. It's just because he looked so bad.
I was laughing, like, out loud.
You're not supposed to laugh. I don't think you're supposed to laugh at this movie. I don't think this movie is like the other Ant-Man movies. I think Marvel was like, this is serious. This is serious times. We're introducing Kang. He's gonna destroy the universe. And nobody cares. Because I can't take Marvel seriously anymore, especially after Thor 4, after Eternals, after this. I can't take Marvel seriously anymore. No one's gonna take Marvel seriously anymore. Like, even especially after She-Hulk, and the whole thing was about not taking Marvel seriously, and the last episode was like fucking breaking the fourth wall with, like, Marvel sucks and we're making a joke about it. That means we don't suck, right? It's so stupid.
If we're self-aware, then it's not bad.
Everything everything about this movie was terrible. The only redeeming thing is like, and the reason why I like Ant-Man and the Wasp, the Ant-Man and the Wasp, the reason why I like that movie is because I like Hank Pym, and the movie is basically about Hank Pym. It's his story and trying to get his wife back. But even in this movie, like, Hank Pym does nothing interesting. Hank is just like along for the ride, and he kind of just mumbles to himself the whole movie.
Yeah, he just mumbles to himself, making one-liners. And if like, people in my personal life know that the thing I dislike the most about the MCU, especially nowadays, is the thing that we call is MCU jokes. So just like jokes that are tossed in because they can't end a scene without having a joke in it. Like they can't just have a serious scene or a normal scene that has to have a joke. And everything Hank Pym says in this movie is a one-liner of some kind. And it drove me nuts.
Yeah, it's like this movie, they did a Star Wars and it was terrible. That's what this movie is. They did a Star Wars and it was terrible. Was this even supposed to be a fucking Ant-Man movie? Because all of the Ant-Man characters are not in it. None of the Ant-Man characters are in it. Luis, the Russian guy, and the other guy, like the three guys that made the company that he makes at the end of Endgame isn't even mentioned at all. Nothing from the previous Ant-Man movies is in this movie except for Hope, Janet, and Hank. And they even recasted Cassie.
Can I complain about Hope for a second? I don't want to spend too long on this movie.
Yeah.
Like this movie is not called Ant-Man Quantumania. It's called Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. And the Wasp.
Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp, yeah.
Hope does nothing at all for the entire runtime.
They also never call her the Wasp, just saying.
Except at the end, when she comes through the portal to save Scott, which, by the way, should have been Janet. If anybody was gonna jump in and take down Kang and save Scott, it was Janet. It was not Hope. Hope did not earn that moment. And I feel like she only was there because she did nothing throughout the entire movie otherwise. And you know what I felt when that happened? Because she did nothing, I felt nothing. It wasn't cool. It wasn't a cool moment. It should have been Janet. But anyway, whatever.
Everything about this movie is stupid, and I'm sure the only thing that's gonna hold any weight in the rest of the MCU is the first after credits scene, and that's it.
No, the second one is gonna matter too.
Yeah, but that's not
Kang.
it's they spoilers for the after credits scene because that's the only thing people care about Marvel movies anymore for. The Loki's in it. Oh no, Loki season 2.
Loki's. I was mixing up the after credits scene.
Yeah, the first one was the one with the Council of Kangs. Yeah, the Council of Kangs is the only thing that's gonna matter from this whole movie, and you don't see it until you've watched the credits for 10 minutes. So, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so fuck this movie, and I hope I never see Scott Lang's face ever again.
Oh, you're definitely gonna see Scott Lang's face again.
Yeah.
You're gonna see Scott Lang's face the next time you watch a movie with Paul Rudd in it.
Also, they made a reference to Living with Myself in the movie.
Yeah, that was funny. I like that. Yeah. It was cute.
You caught that too?
Yeah, it's a cute moment.
All right, that was it. That was our thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I know it sounded a bit unnatural because it was like in the middle of the World's End episode, but I decided to, make it its own bonus episode because, like I said in the intro, I do like the points we made. But if you agree with us, if you don't agree with us, let us know in the Q&A down below on Spotify if you're listening on Spotify. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, then go down in the comments. You know what to do. Make sure to check us out on the Linktree, linktr.ee/FreshOffTheReel. You could also fill out a form to recommend us a movie or TV show, and we'll take that recommendation and we'll make it into an episode. And on that Linktree, you'll also find our socials, the Instagram and the Twitter, and of course our Letterboxd accounts, so you can keep up with movies we've been watching. Pat's not here with me right now, but he would like to see all of you in a theater near you as well. So I'll say bye, and he's going to say bye in spirit. I'll leave an empty space for him to say bye in spirit. There you go. Good night.